How we doing?
Mate, it's interesting, right? I said something about this in the car ride home when we were talking off air. I realized my team is not bad at Supercoach. I'm bad at Supercoach. I'll say it again. Big J, you're not that good at Supercoach. Yes, you can make a perfect team. You can be happy. You can be like, yep, I've got the best players in. But you know who can't do loopholes and who can't pick captains? It's this guy. 3 weeks in a row, I have not got a captain score over 100. 3 weeks in a row. Not happy, Joe. Not happy.
Mate, that's a special kind of skill to be able to stuff
I know,
it up
and I benched Nick Martin instead of Richards. So I lost like 60 points.
I told you, didn't I?
It's not fun. Told you. Sorry, 59 points. It wasn't 60 points. I think it's more, 59 points. 59. Sorry.
And welcome to the Centre Bounds for another Monday night live stream at 7:30. Hope you all had a wonderful weekend of football, Supercoach, life in general, and hopefully your Monday was not too bad. I ended up scoring a measly 21-48 this week.
How did I score more than you?
Because your team is good at Supercoach. Your team is good, but you suck at Supercoach. I'm good at Supercoach, but my team sucks. And that's the problem. If we put our collective brains together and made one team, the two of us,
you should just play my team the rest of the season. That'd work out all right.
Yes.
Yeah. I think this was one of those weeks. I went into this weekend thinking that, hey, I've got 23 primos. I'm going to be okay. I've got epic coverage across the board. Life's easy. There were so many rookies this week, Joe, that ended up scoring more than primos. I was not happy. If you had Billy Dowling to cover Fisher or some major thing, like I think we were talking about before about Luke Jackson in the ruck position, Dowling coming on field, covering players. Mate, 108. I was so happy. Come Friday night, we went to the we went to the Collingwood Geelong game. Good game to watch. Saw our friend Magic there in real life. Was really good seeing him there. Humphreys, 108. I was very happy.
Yep.
Ended up benching Nick Martin, 140. Come on, man. Like,
I told you.
For real, guys.
I told you.
It is not, that's all I'm going to say.
Look, I held on. Look, another reason why my score was pretty bad was because I held on to Max Gawn and I fielded Kruger's 56. And we know how much of a shitter Kruger was on the weekend. So I was begging him.
Much fun.
No, I was begging him to do well. G'day, Michael. A very happy Monday to you as well. 23.94 this week. That was very, very good. Very good.
I think the highest scorer this week was 26 something. And just looking at his team, I mean, this guy is currently ranked 850. But he had Stephen May as like a bench cover. He had a lot of really good players. So not too bad there.
And I got Matt Rowell, the fraud, stuck in my team, but what can we do about that? Joel, 22.97, still holding on to 5th overall. Well done, Joel. You keep going, mate.
Keep it up. Merritt. Keep up the good work. Fight the good fight. Now, my projection, last week my projection was like 25.50. Can you guess what my projection is this week, Joe?
I don't know. What is it? 27.30?
26.36. I reckon I'm going to finish the week out with like a 23.50. Just the way that my my planning and everything's going. I don't know. Ridiculous. I'm
projected 24.95. Max Gawn, please play this week. Max,
that's very true.
I'm thanking you, mate.
Oh, Damo, mate, I need this stress medic. It's funny because pre-buy, even during the buy, I think I was about 300 points away from it, from top 1K. And I think I'm still about 300 points away from top 1K now, but my ranking keeps going up. So all that means is it's really bridging the gap probably between 500 and then 1,000, which is not great for us in Supercoach here. So, yeah, Big J, stress medication, 100%, mate. I need a lot of help at the moment.
Mate, Adamo Baldacchino, you are a very generous man, Adamo. We love you to bits. See, the thing is, for me, I don't need to worry about my team. I'm sort of my team. I've been relaxed with my team.
We're waiting for 2025.
Yeah, I've been waiting for 2025 for a month at least. So
there you go.
I've been chilling. Michael says Lachie might be taking Charlie home again this year. He's been unreal.
Yeah, it feels that way, doesn't it? There's a couple of players I think potentially that could steal it, but 100%. I mean, like last few weeks especially, you'd think there might be games where he was copying the tag and not doing so well, but even when he was copying the tag, it wasn't too bad. And I don't think Dunkley's stealing as many points off him as what we had thought. If you were a Neale owner, I think, let me check. I think like round 14, Neale was really cheap. Let me just see.
He's been going bonkers the last, 37, 29, 36, what's this, 34. He's hitting the scoreboard as well, which is the most potent thing, is that he's also hitting the scoreboard. So he's doing everything he can. Last year, he didn't deserve it at all. This time around, he genuinely does deserve it. And can you imagine if he doesn't get this one? He gets the one for the year that he doesn't deserve it, but then he misses out on this year when he might deserve it. So that would be pretty impressive.
You could have picked up Neale in round 9 at 586K, and you would have been laughing since then. A couple of 160s, couple of 170s, almost a 180. Yes, I think there's been one crap score since round 9. So yeah, the tag might not be as real as what we kind of predicted a little bit there.
Yeah, he's been unreal.
He's very good. Brisbane are pushing for finals hard. They almost lost to Richmond, which kind of is pretty funny.
Yeah, was hoping Bedford got 4 weeks, but I don't even know how. Yeah, look, 4 weeks would have been
said the same thing.
4 weeks would have been too much, but hey, at least you've got 3 more weeks to come of some ridiculously good scoring from Lachie. So be happy, Joel. Be happy that you own him. Legend 24 couldn't resist. Sorry, Kobe. Been replaced. Mate, you guys had a great game and we had a shit game. Just plain and simple. We played shit and you played good. And all you got to do is turn on the sprinklers and we fold like paper mache. We've got the structural integrity of a paper bag. It is so bad whenever we play in the wet. So well done to you boys, legends. They taught us a lesson on how to play just simple contested football. Very impressive. Unbranded with his on-brand hello. G'day, unbranded. Michael had the golden C. I did say if you had golden, you gotta go for it.
I apparently didn't hear this. Didn't hear this advice and ended up going Zach Merritt C, and it obviously didn't work out that well for me. So
you guys as of before last week, you considered the most points to wingers. You were actually number 1. So
who
as soon as I saw that,
week? We're playing Carlton. Who's a good winger from Carlton?
Sam Walsh.
Oh, yeah. Do I dare go Sam Walsh? See, I'm not sure.
Wait, Essendon. No, we play against Adelaide this week.
I'm saying
not
Melbourne.
Carlton. Oh, North Melbourne.
I'm just thinking we're turning into the Richmond of old, where it was like, cool, who's playing Richmond? Now it's turning into who's playing North Melbourne. Cool, just go in and start playing these players.
Yeah, good to see you, Joel. Thanks for coming on. Shawnee, g'day, Shawnee. Don't beat yourself, Big J. Supercoach needs a lot of luck.
Yeah, I think so too. Just sucks, that's all.
Frankie, g'day, Frankie. Even he can't master the C. 23.91 this week. Look, I was pretty happy. I mean, my captain wasn't the best. I got Zach Butters as 120, but in the grand scheme of things, 120 compared to a lot of other options was still pretty good. So
yeah,
I think I'd be so much worse off if it wasn't for my VCs and Cs, man. Like, and I'm already doing bad, but it would have been doubly bad if I was not nailing the VCs and the Cs. Maltesing, g'day, how's it going? Supercoach team is dying like the pies. Me too, don't you worry. Both going down the gurgler. I would like to boast my AFL fantasy team top 40 this week.
Ooh, that's pretty good. I think my AFL fantasy team's about top 140k at the moment. Top 40 is pretty
unreal. Well done, Maltesing. That is absolutely sensational. Velo, g'day guys. Does Cameron get off because he is a good guy?
If only that was.
He's such a good guy. We saw it. Oh, that is unbelievable. That was so bad. G'day, Ghost. Hope you're doing well. Michael had Humpty. He had Humphrey. Score very well for him. Congratulations. Fagan destroyed Brucey Boy. That's right, Trav. He had him as the sub.
I don't think it's going to happen again. I'm sure they've got better players that could have done it.
I know, right? That was bizarre when I saw that news.
A bit silly.
Perfect storm for shit players. Yep, 100%. G'day, Freddie. Hope you're doing well.
What's up, Freddie?
Of course, Jonas is going to come in here on the same week where your Carlton Blues also lost. All right, Jonas? Your Blues also lost. Where's Charlie Curnow, bro? Where's Charlie Curnow? I think Charlie Curnow was the one who was trying to shoot Donald Trump because he kept missing. So,
that's too soon, Joe.
Why? It's good. He didn't die. That's fine. You can make jokes because he didn't die. Essendon done. Sammy the Drape Queen beat Pitiful Pity, but was belted. Man, Van Rooyen is a very good player. And I wouldn't say it was just Van Rooyen that beat him. Frankly, it was the Melbourne midfield in general that beat our midfield. It wasn't Draper obviously started well, but then once their midfield got on top of ours, he's not smart. He's not smart. I've always said he's very low IQ. Neil Bullen beat Zachy Fair head to head. Man, Zach Merritt spent quite a bit of time forward, I'm pretty sure.
I think he was dodging tags or something.
Because he was trying to dodge the tag. So if I was to pull up Merritt, I was looking at Zach Merritt. I noticed him forward quite a bit. He didn't notice. CBA 78%, but I feel like his heat map was very forward. I feel still around the ground. I don't know why, but every time I saw him, it just felt like he was forward trying to beat the tag. So hey, I don't know. It's pretty bizarre, but Neil Bullen took Nick Dacos to the cleaners. So, if he can do that to Nick Dacos, he can do that to Zach Merritt.
Someone had to cop the tag in that team. Unfortunately, it was the guy that a few of us had as our captaincy options this week. But, bit silly kind of doing it, I guess.
Travis, thank you so much, by the way, for the 2 donations, the 2 super chats. You didn't have to do that. Absolutely. But why didn't Neale deserve it last year? It's because I felt like there were other players that were probably more deserving of it.
It was 100% was supposed to be Bontempelli last year. It should have been Bontempelli. He was there. One I think it was like the last week or something, wasn't it? Or 2 weeks beforehand, someone pinched the points off him, and then Dacos came in, and then
It was weird. The voting was very bizarre last year. There were a few players that randomly got the 3 votes when they shouldn't have. There were players that absolutely killed it that didn't poll at all. Like Goulden had 42 disposals one game and didn't poll at all in that game. And then you have people like Horn Francis who had 7 touches and would get 3 votes for that. So it was really weird.
That game was so dumb. He shouldn't have got 7. Yeah,
I know. It was dumb. And half of them, there you go, 7 disposals, 3 votes. Yeah. And I could have sworn 3 or 4 of them were clangers as well. Like, it wasn't even like 7 clean disposals. So, last year was really weird. Obviously, he's a great player. Just because he shouldn't have won the Brownlow doesn't mean we're talking shit about Lachie Neale. Absolutely not. It's just that if Bont doesn't win a Brownlow, he might go down as the best player in history to not win a Brownlow medal, which was pretty 100%. Crazy. So,
it was similar to umpire decisions during a game and things like that. The Brownlow almost comes down to which player is the most liked during that game. Like, if you're a player that kind of gets yelly at the umpires during the game, or a bit nippy, that kind of thing, cool, there goes your 3 votes. Even though maybe you had 40 odd touches, like it shouldn't be the way that it is, really. But
it's weird. But it's true. You guys are talking. You guys are saying that you get Causa. G'day Causa. The umpires don't use stats, is what they say.
No.
In terms of, it's just it's weird. Someone like Bond, who is a big time player, he's tall, he's hard to miss, and the things that he does are freakishly good. It surprises me that he doesn't get as many points as he probably should. But it's bizarre. But anyways, Velo, Sarong and Dunkley left the game at 3/4 time. Both were close to 100 and then crapped a bit in the last. Yep. Unfortunate. Legend, I don't understand. My team was scoring better in the best 18 rounds.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy, right? I was almost looking at my team. I think round 3 or 4 in the season, I had a better score than what I had this week. Like, this is full primos, and this is what I was saying at the start. Obviously, a lot of you guys didn't jump on, but you had players like Dowling and Humphreys scoring over 100. I think from memory, there might have been 1 or 2 other rookies. I know Philippou, some people jumped on him, and he scored over 100 as well. Like, where are these players coming from? Why don't we have them in our teams? And it's almost not punishing primos. So, like, cool, you can have 5 primos out this week and still get hundreds from rookies. Like, come on, guys.
It's pretty good. Pretty damn good.
Dumb.
Meanwhile, I've got Kruger and McKercher.
Well, that's it. At least you didn't have a donut, because there would have been people with donuts this week and no Kruger. So,
do a program and start looking at players for next year. Oh, we'll definitely tee one up.
There's still a few weeks to go, and what I'm trying to tee up as well. There's a cool guy on YouTube. I won't kind of spoil it so far, but I want to tee him up, and we'll do a few episodes on, hey, how's the draft? What's the players looking like, and who potentially we can put into our Supercoach teams as well. So kind of keep on top of the rookies, because a lot of the preseason games stuff are happening now as well.
Yep. Freddie Petrarch comes back round 24 and gets 25 votes to win the Brownlow.
Mate, it's going to happen. The AFL's rigged it. They'll buy him a new liver. Come back.
Rowan Marsh freaking Mello. Stuff him. He is a flog and a half, and I will never forgive him for what he did to me this year. He can get stuffed. My nemesis.
A stat that I saw today, Joe. Maybe not a stat, but wrap your head around this. There's some talk at the moment that Josh Battle is going to command $950. Sorry, $950,000.
$950. That's pretty cheap.
$950,000 at the trade table. Can you imagine that? $950,000 at the trade table. Like, band 1, here we go. But for Josh Battle, like, bonkers, mate. I know he had a good game on the weekend, but damn.
How great is Rowan Marshmallow? 20 touches at 25% disposal efficiency.
Yep. 5 clangers too. Oh, I hate Jack Steele so much. Though.
He's a fraud.
I hate Jack Steele. No more. Honestly, never again, Jack Steele.
What is Josh Battle's stats? Like, what is I actually want to see, what does Josh Battle do? I know he's a good defender.
He's just available. I mean, if we're talking free agency, it's purely because he's available. He did go at 90%. So there is that. Like, he's a fair, decent kick at the moment. But, it's
Interesting. Broadman Crash got injured. Oh, yeah, about Lachie Neale. Well done. So good. G Bags. Hey, fellas, do you reckon that Filippo maintains his CBA percentages for the run home? Looking at getting him in this week.
I think so. I think so. It's the way that St Kilda look with him in the team. They look really good, right? I don't see a world where they don't keep him playing the same role. They probably see themselves as cool. Maybe we make finals, maybe we don't make finals, but at least we can blood the kids and get him playing for quite a long time. So I reckon there's a fair shout that they need to do that, and they need to play. They need to start gearing up the team for post Brad Crouch as well, and that involves playing these younger kids, the ones that show some talent. Lower draft picks, high draft picks. I can see him keeping his spot. He did well in the position, and he's done it 2 weeks in a row. So I think he stays in his spot if he can.
He's playing with confidence as well, which is huge. He knows he belongs. He's had a good stint in the VFL playing in the role, and now he's back, and he's got praise.
Keep going.
He's got the praise from the coach. He's got the backing of the coach. The coach has said they're going to keep playing him there. And it's not like he's getting all of the CBAs. He's pinch hitting in there. He's rolling through there, and he's tackling, which is what you want to see. He's putting in the effort, two-way running. I don't see why you wouldn't get him. He's doing great.
I was just saying as well, what it does is St Kilda's big problem has been not being able to run through the middle. It's partly why they've struggled quite a lot this year. So having him in there has obviously bolstered up Steele's scoring recently.
Yep. G'day, Fiddler. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Puffer Fish, the Mighty Hawkers are back and better than ever, baby. Finals, here we come.
Yep. I tell you what, if you were a Clayton Oliver owner this week, you probably had him on the bench, but you'd be happy being an Oliver owner. He outscored at scoring 100. He outscored half my mid-primos this week. Zach Merritt scored less. Sarong scored less. Dacos, Green, Sam Walsh all scored less. Even Dane Zorko and Dylan Moore scored less. And heck, Jai Simpkin did. Imagine if I had said, hey, Joe, this week, he's going to score more than Sheasel, Luke Ryan, Edwards, almost score more than Bontempelli, Nick Dacos.
That's not
Merritt,
about
Sarong,
him, though. That speaks more about the rest of the week.
I know, but Supercoach is only comparable for each week. So he scored really well. A lot of players scored shit this week.
Yeah, good for him. Yeah. Good for him.
Good for the owners that kept him on.
Correct. But the Hawks looked good. It was a few shaky moments, that's for sure.
Good team.
Good, but you're tough to beat in Launceston. It's your very long flight, very long trip for the Dockers to get down there, and you guys played very well as you tend to do. So well done. I mean, what were we pretending to be is my question. I don't think any Essendon supporter or Essendon spokesperson ever said we're winning the flag this year. Definitely we're never contenders. We're always just making up the numbers. And our real only goal and hope that we have as a club is winning a final in a positive matchup against an interstate team. That's probably the best that we could manage and what we've been hoping for all season long. And if we can get that, then we've achieved our goal for this year. Definitely not in contention, and we never were. Flag Hawk. Very cool. Any word on McGovern? Asks Joel.
No, but I presume he's going to be out for another week or two. He took a pretty nasty injury, and I don't think there's any rush to bring him back. So
no, there would be no injury, no rush whatsoever.
I think it's the compound injuries too. So he's done it before. He's done something similar. It keeps going on and on and on. So yeah, I foresee them taking a little bit longer. He probably won't travel. He can't fly, so he won't come in for the Marvel Stadium game at the moment. When's their next home game? Let me quickly check. Round 20. They don't. Oh, sorry, they play round 20. So if he's to come back, I think he comes back in 2 weeks. Yeah, that's my prediction.
Probably. But yeah, I don't see there's no reason whatsoever. They've sacked their coach. They've brought in someone now new, basically starting to blood the young players, trying to show what they've got.
He just can't fly. He just can't fly.
And he can't fly, exactly. But there's absolutely no reason to rush him. Pufferfish gone a chance to return. What about Fish? Look, I think if they lost to us on the weekend, he'd probably push harder to be named this week. But if there's a flight, they're playing it away. I reckon Gorn might miss this week as well, unfortunately. I think there's less pressure now on Melbourne to win this game, considering that they won last week. So I don't see a reason why they would rush their captain. So Fisher, though, is different. Fisher might play. I reckon Fisher plays.
But potentially. I think there's a world where it happens. He did take a bit of a knock during the VFL game. Yes, he came back on, which was great, but he did take a bit of a knock and then limped off. So I'm not sure if anything's going to happen from that. But yeah, if we had won again or actually competed, 100% he doesn't play. But maybe the coach comes in and says, look, we need to change something up again. Fish you back in the team. I don't think it was a lack of Fisher that cost us the loss. If that's what I'm saying. So maybe there's something in that as well.
Naturally. Nick Newman. What about Nick Newman? Velo, Big J, North will beat us this week. Put your membership on it.
No, I'm good.
I kept Warner. Still very happy with the 130, but he turned into Charlie Curnow and couldn't kick straight. Respectfully, there should be no way.
140 this week if you learn how to kick straight.
Yeah, I agree. Rivers was monumental in that game for sure. G'day, lads. I had a bad week. Had Dunks as my captain, which I thought would go nuts, but not the case.
Yeah, I think someone has to take attention, and it's very, very rarely that you get a game where two players go massive. I mean, we saw it, I think it was Port Adelaide versus Melbourne when Rosie and Butters did. But I do think, let me check, I think someone might have had some attention on Dunkley, at least at the start of the game. I'm pretty sure he was tagged for like the first half, or definitely had attention for the first half of the game. And then he jumped up in the second half in terms of scoring. So, yeah, I think that's kind of what happened.
Let's have a look. At Fan Footy, they tend to have a...
Yeah.
No, it doesn't say that.
You can do it by stats. Like you can you do it round by round. So you can let me see.
But this was last week's game. There's no tag symbol. There's no tag symbol next to
it. It goes away though after the time.
If you say so. If you make us say so. G'day, Jen. Hope you're doing well. How bad are these suspensions? Yeah, I don't know, man. Like the AFL's just gone haywire, hasn't it? It's just
you say that, right? But then there's been another player this week. Carmichael's come out and said, "Yep, I can't play ever again." And he was only a fairly young player, 2 years in the system after getting picked up in the mid-season draft. And then there's more players now that have come out and they're going to start suing the AFL. So they have to do something. Like they can't just be like, cool, yep, we're going to do nothing. We're going to allow everyone to do head-high knocks, because they legitimately, they could be up for millions and millions of dollars from multiple players over the next 5 years.
But this wasn't a knock.
I understand.
Well, this was tackle. Like it wasn't like it was a. Like normally you should be allowed to tackle someone from the front.
Was it the head contact that had done it?
That's why I'm opening this up to have a look and see.
No volume.
So could you hear it?
No. It's fine.
So he's just pushed him. Unfortunately, the back of the head hits the ground.
It's their head bang.
You
know what it is? It's tackling both of the arms, pushing him down, and basically not slamming, but effectively slamming his head into the ground. That's what's done it.
Not giving him any way to sort of cushion himself. Yeah.
That's what's done it. He basically, they would have seen it as he drove the player's head into the ground. Almost.
Yeah. He should have here rather than push straight down to try and get him. He should have brought him sort of tackled him sideways, rather than driving his foot. Yeah. All right. So that's fine. So that 3 weeks. Both arms pinned, used his body weight to drive Duggan into the ground due to concussion. He was concussed. Yeah, that's fine. I agree with this, actually. Having watched the footage, I agree. Tick to the MRO. I agree with this. Now that I've actually watched it, the Lions forward was staring at a 1 game early in the year for a tackle on Melbourne's Jake Lever, but Brisbane argued successfully to have the back of the thing due to Cameron's good character.
We should do a picture. Good character. That's good.
A good character proceeds to drive him into the ground. I love it. Michael, did Green just pass every possession to Richmond on Sunday? Yes, basically.
Yeah, mate. What did he have? 30 odd possessions when he at like 40%. It wasn't great.
Still, I think he had like 39 disposals.
Did he? Let me quickly check.
Oh, sorry, 37. 37.
Yeah, 37 disposals. Yeah, passed them all off the up. For when it's 40%, Joe. Like, this is the frustrating thing. This is why I partly got rid of Tuke Miller as well. Was just, he'd get a lot of disposals, but they'd all be shit. If we were playing AFL Fantasy, you would have been laughing. But yeah, not in Supercoach as much.
No, not as much. If a Hawks player got suspended for those actions apart from the Roses one, I'd be livid. Yet Roses gets the least amount of weeks.
Yeah.
What did Roses do again?
Like ran past and elbowed someone in the head. It didn't look great. He should have been suspended for a lot more than what he did.
Where? What happened? Well, is it there?
Yeah. You'll see it.
No, that's not Roses. Who's this?
No. After. It's in this game, not that one.
Wasn't here.
No, it happened on Evans.
Oh, this one. Oh, this one.
Yep.
This one.
Yep. He should have got a lot more than what he did. Right? Yep. So the guy's fallen over. Look.
Oh, piss off.
Yeah.
What did he get? How much did he get for this?
1 week.
Oh, piss off, AFL.
Oh, no, sorry. People in chat are saying that's Davies. Maybe that was Davies. Who's number 11? Let me quickly check.
This is Roses, isn't it? Roses and hot water. Roses. He got 1 match for this?
No, it's
he got
not
1
Davies.
match.
Number 11 is...
For striking. First offense. Intentional conduct. Low impact. High contact.
No, 41 is that number 41 that does it? Must be. So you can't really see because the angle. Yeah, 41. Yeah, so he runs past, runs past, and then basically elbowed him in the head, like
so
for no reason.
Did he get subbed off with concussion?
No, he didn't.
So if he got concussed.
Oh, the guy would be fucked.
Automatically
the guy would be gone, like even further. But
but you shouldn't be judging it on the result. It should be based on the action. You can't have 1 week for running past and elbowing someone in the ear.
At the very least, there should be something that's basically just like, if like you do an outside footy act. Like I understand a bad tackle, no penalties, right? But if you walk up and punch someone, or you do something like this completely off the ball, no contact between the two players, nothing, there needs to be an additional penalty on the top. Like, cool, we'll just not penalize as much players getting punched or whatever outside the ground. It doesn't sit right with me.
Yeah, he's lucky. He is so lucky, Jonas. But you can't have someone. He can't be lucky for incorrectly executing his thug act, and he gets off for 1 week. He clearly had the intention. You don't run like this. That is so bad. This should not be 1 week. You gotta. No. I reckon you need to punish.
There's no chance. Shouldn't be 1 week.
You should. It's intentional conduct. The fact that you intended to be a dog means that it should automatically be bumped up above 1 match. For me, for me, intention is so much more important than the outcome, because you could have a complete accident out of your control. You didn't mean to do it. Whereas this intentionally, oh man, this could have been so dangerous for Evans. Could have been so dangerous. Oh my god, that's disgusting. That is not 1 week. That should be easily 3, I reckon. Bedford, what was Bedford's one? 3. He got 3 games as well. Let's have a look at Bedford's one. Oh, that's the classic. What they're trying to stamp out: pin the arms, driving into the ground. That is literally the only thing that's. And I love it that the umpire just threw the ball up when he's clearly not ready to play.
Of course. They're just like, nah, keep going. That's it.
Bro, the umpire should be suspended as well for being a dumbass. Why did he throw the ball up? He's clearly dazed. Get him off the field before you throw the ball up right around him. Oh my god.
Watch it again.
Yeah, both arms. Drives him into the ground.
That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get rid of it. 100%.
So he got how many? 3 for this. So he got 3 for this. In what was, now in his defense, in his justification, I will say that this was a perfect tackle up until these last couple of years, right?
Yeah.
But it's never been right for you to run past and throw your elbow out. That has never been fair. That's never been correct. But this type of tackle was, up until recently, the way you tackle. So I can understand where a player might not be used to tackling in the new 21st century way, but I can't forgive someone like Roses for running past with his elbow up to the head. That I can't forgive.
No. But you also have to play for how the game is as well. Like, clubs got mandated. They know what the ruling is. So the players have to play to the ruling, unfortunately.
Yes. Yeah, so I don't mind the suspension. I don't mind the suspension for him, for sure. But I don't consider that to be 3 times as bad as what Roses did. Yeah. Because basically that's what the MRO has deemed.
I think it's the result, right?
Exactly. It's the result, not the action. Every time, we've been saying it for years, the AFL has to judge by the action, not the result. Obviously, result is to be considered, but the primary consideration should be the intent behind it, man. And it's so, and the action.
Yeah, it's like, you sped, but you didn't kill anyone, so
exactly.
It doesn't matter.
There's a few memes already about Trump. Oh, there you go. See? The memes already, Big J. I'm allowed to make that joke. But having said that, thoughts and prayers with the family of, there was someone who died there.
Yeah.
Thoughts and prayers with their family and their loved ones in this very difficult time. You go out to that rally to have fun, to express your democracy and your freedom of expression. You don't go there and expect to be killed. So thoughts and prayers with that person's family members. So he was playing as an attacking mid, usually plays behind the ball, about Zach Merritt. Yeah, and I didn't like that, Joel. I didn't like that. We want his ball use up the ground because our other kickers are shit. Bont got 3 votes in the loss to West Coast when Kelly was clearly best on ground. Yeah, but Michael, see again, we don't know anything. The umpires themselves are just it's so willy-nilly. The way they voted last year was bizarre. Neale kicked 3 goals, 11 behinds last year. Bontzilla got robbed. The fact Ollie Wines is a Brownlow over Bont makes me sick.
Yeah.
The system's really flawed.
I may have made something in Canberra if everyone wants to have a look. For next time. Next time. Pull off the comment.
Good character! Love it. I love it.
Not too bad. Whenever someone gets off, good character. That's it.
Country home, give me good character. Country road. Pufferfish. Heard a rumor. Sam Draper getting dropped for the ghost of Simon Madden. Mate, it'd be better. It'd be better for sure. Cause they have to write it down after each quarter on a piece of paper, and their phone is not locked away or is locked away. Razor Ray said it. Look, I don't know what Razor Ray has to say. I can't trust him as far as I can throw him. Neale was useless in last year's finals as well, while Sammy Walsh won the Player of the Finals award. Yeah, but the Brownlow doesn't take into account it's a home and away season award, not a finals award. So those are 2 entirely separate things, Jonas. This week, if you have side from Bombers, you can't loop with Dowling and Humphreys. Exactly, Joe. Boohoo Blues. Pressure starting to come. Beat up the crap teams going missing. We need to win. Yes, I love it. Thanks, Maltesing. We can always unite against Jonas. We can always unite against him.
That's not very nice. Jonas is a nice guy in real life.
Jonas is a Carlton supporter, and the only thing that can bring a pie and a bomber together is Carlton. Travis, English is so frustrating this year. Mate, you can say that again.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be the year next year, depending on the prices of players and what's happening. We might end up not picking an English next year. It might be someone like a Tristan Cherry and maybe a Gorn or a Grundy or someone else, just to be a bit pottish. So, yeah, it's been up and down, up and down, up and down. And if you look at when I brought English in, I think it was around round 9, maybe. I think I brought him in. So, yeah, been a great few scores after that, I think.
He is averaging you 102.8.
Yep, it sucks. It sucks.
What a fraud. I started this guy because look at what he gave us last year. He was shitting out 130s for breakfast. Like no one, like, you know what I mean?
And I don't think it's a Darcy problem. I think it's just a Dogs problem as well. Like I would love to see their hit outs to advantage stats versus other rucks and just being like, well, maybe they're great across the ground, but due to losing like a Smith and kind of their midfield makeup, they're just not getting as much of the ball as a straight disposal from a ruckman than what they've kind of done in previous years. But yeah, Meek, as Michael says here in the this might be the winning makeup next year, depending on what the run's like. Yeah, Meek looks very good, and Hawthorn's getting better and better.
Yeah, Jack Steele not as much of a fraud as your Dons, Joe. Mate, I don't want to show you the round 1 score. I don't want to go back to round 1 of this year. Okay, let's just keep going. You call the Big J. You need 2 trades for Steele.
Yeah.
What happened to Merritt this week?
I should have got him a while ago.
Yeah, happened to Merritt. He copped the tag. Trav he copped the Neil Bullen tag. Jonas still has Clary the pig snorter at M8. Well done.
There you go. Told you. Get that nice 100 next week of 45.
No, 30. I will back Joe here. They are building us for the next couple of years. And yes, I agree. Thank you so much, Maltesing. Much love, especially from a Collingwood supporter to acknowledge that. We are building. There has been definite improvement. Is it enough improvement to challenge? No, we're not there yet. We've had to rebuild the whole culture. We've been pretenders and frauds and soft players for a long, long time with a very poor culture. It takes some time to rejuvenate things. And I think the midfield is definitely a lot better this year, unearthing Caldwell and Durham in the mids without Parrish, who's by far and away our best contested midfielder for a number of weeks. Mackay and Ridley still getting their things sorted out. So, look, there's definitely been some improvement, just, step by step. Duggan is out as well, though, for West Coast, says Joel, which is why McGovern might play.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to... There's no chance he's going to travel. There's no chance. I think he's got to give himself 2 weeks. Like, getting home the way that he did and not being able to fly, I don't see a world where he goes to Marvel. I mean, it's going to be a good win for the Saints. They'll be up and about and whatever. But, yeah.
Yeah. McGovern said that his ribs were like cooked bacon.
Yeah.
Oh. Delicious. He can fly. Only 7-day curfew.
No. I don't think it's the curfew that's stopping him. I think he's legit struggling. I think he needs the extra week off.
Velo says Fisher's about 90% certain to play against his old team.
Well, we'll see.
Edwards did a good job, so bring him in fresh for the derby. Yep, exactly. JM, Carlton Blues. Why did North drop Will Phillips? His tagging was a key reason as to why you guys were doing better.
Yeah, it's a weird one, right? I would have loved him to play. I think he should have played. I think our midfield makeup is not 100%. I think there's some other players that need to go, and I think a tagger is something that a lot of people don't like. And I do think a tagger is something that, North might not have the strongest midfield. Let's be honest. Bunch of kids, they should be doing okay, but still a bunch of kids. Giving us a tagger in there means that it opens up something a little bit more than what we've got at the moment. The fact that we dropped that player for someone else who, they cost 14 possessions. Heck, people say he did no job on Treloar. He kept Treloar to 22 when he averages 20 more or 10 more possessions. So even against the good player, he did something. For North Melbourne to drop him, it doesn't work. Apparently there was a bout of gastro going around. I don't believe it. But yeah, you don't drop good players, especially when they're doing well. And this is a guy that, a week beforehand came out and said, I love playing for this club. I'm glad they've got a position for me. I'm keen to do well through the midfield. Yeah.
Who would you drop, though? Who would you have dropped? Because you ended up... Because you had Wardlaw to come back into the team.
Wardlaw was back, 100%. Let me quickly check.
You had to drop a midfielder for Wardlaw to come back.
Yeah, I would have just dropped Liam Shields. I know he's probably going to retire at the end of the year, but there is space for players in this team. There's still upgrades to be happening in this team. But for North to drop him, it's not great. I don't think the makeup's there yet. But you've got to play these nice kids. He's got a position that he can play in the team. And the beautiful thing with Phillips is he's still a good midfielder, even when he's not tagging. And when he's got the ball, he's clean with his hands. It's just stupid to not do it.
Yeah, you shouldn't drop. It's not rewarding good form. Yeah, no,
it's not. Cool. I just play 3 amazing games or 4 amazing games. No, sorry, you're out of the team.
Correct.
Why?
Michael Quarterfield. Hi guys, Joe. Why do you hate the poor Ruckman? They are trying their best. They're not trying hard enough, Michael. They're not trying hard enough, especially when they're in my bloody Supercoach team. They let me down. It's not all the Ruckman. I like Big Max. It obviously sucked when I didn't own him and he was torching me. I now own him and he's torching me. Rowan
Apparently-
Marshmallow.
Apparently, GWS and Brisbane are already confirmed appealing. So
there you go. English definitely been a disappointment for many. I'm not unnecessarily hating the poor Ruckman, and Draper sputtered it up on the weekend as well. So I feel like my critique is justified.
Yeah, sure.
Saw Fisher play the last quarter in the VFL, was moving fine. North got smacked, so expect changes and him to come back in.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be him, if it's going to be Phillips who actually leaves from the senior team. Because North actually has competition for spots, which is what we want.
Yes.
The players just need to play better. So
yes,
we'll see what happens.
I was loving the GWS game yesterday as an
You
owner.
would have been very happy. One of his 3 good games for the year.
King Tobias was on full display for the first time all year. Yes, he would be very happy. G'day, and Louise. Hi, guys. Tom Green, captain this week. He should go off. That's a courageous call because he has been
pretty shit.
He's just a little bit. I mean, what are the games this week? Who the Giants play this week? Giants against the Suns.
Yeah.
Interesting. Inside mids. Gold Coast. 4th easiest matchup. Hey, that's a call. That's a call. I wouldn't captain him, though. Maybe vice-captain. Don't captain him, please. EV Dog is Graydon Myers a good trade target for? You think you mean Brian Myers?
No, I wouldn't touch him. I think our forward lines are fairly set. Myers is a good player, but in terms of Supercoach, you can do it. I think you're going to have pretty up and down games, but that's the forward line outside of 4 players anyway. So,
yeah. He's a good player. He's a great player. Don't get me wrong.
If you're targeting someone in the forward line, go pick up Philippou. Like, the guy's 250K.
Correct.
Go do that instead.
Bedfin suspension is a joke. It's the type of tackle that they're trying to stamp out, Velo. He's not the first. It just needs to be consistent. Jason, g'day, Jason. How was Essendon against Melbourne? We were pathetic. No other way to say it. Real opportunity on the line to capitalize on a great performance the week before, and to try and, because Carlton lost unexpectedly to the Bulldogs, that was a shock result. If we won, we would have been second on the ladder and cementing ourselves in the top 4. But if anything, this was one of those classic Essendon performances, which just goes to show we are not there yet. We are not that team. We needed to play harder. Wet weather football. It was not going to be an easy game. Yes, there was no Gorn. Yes, there was no Petrarca. But in those conditions, against the likes of Viney and Oliver and Rivers, we had to present our best in that midfield, and we got smacked. Got taught a lesson on what tough ball winning is like. And if you can't win tough ball when it's there to be won, you are not a proper finals team. And if anything, it's good for the competition that we're not in the top 4 at the moment, because we are not a top 4 caliber team. It is what it is.
Yeah, that percentage is really going to hurt. Well, speaking to Nick from work, and he was saying the same thing. Like, it's a real tough situation to be in.
It's the first time all year where the poor percentage has come to hurt us, because now that we've dropped this game, we're no longer ahead with this extra draw. We're on the same points as Freo and Brisbane. And so this is the first time where our poor percentage is coming to bite us. And it is really poor. Like, it's just
if
better than
all played this week, you could be out of the top 8.
Yeah. This is a real tough stretch now, in terms of keeping your focus. The games can be won. We've got Adelaide at Marvel. The boys just need a strong bounce back. Get back on your bike. The thing is, it's at Marvel Stadium. Close the roof. You know what I mean? Like, even if we come back and win, it doesn't change the fact that we're struggling to win at the MCG. And that's an issue. a big issue that we need to rectify down the track. He had 13% disposal efficiency by foot. Tom Green had 13% disposal efficiency by foot.
It wasn't great.
Oh my God.
It was not great, mate.
13%. That's unreal. Danger did that too and got off. That's my frustration. Well, Danger is a protected species. He's the president of the AFL Players Association. There's no doubt this guy shits gold bricks. So no way that he's going to get suspended. Yes, action should be what it is judged on. No. You're not all evil, Velo. I have certain favorite Carlton supporters that I like. Don't get me wrong. There are absolutely you, one of them, absolutely, Velo. Of course, Jonas, you also one that I'm very happy with. As is this one, Poppy and Oz. Oi,
What's
oi,
up, Poppy?
G'day, Poppy. Again, one of those few Carlton supporters that I do love to talk to. So, no, you are not all evil. All right. Yes, we spoke about this. Causa, I started English from day dot over Gorn and has Geelong this week. Please.
Nice.
Please do well, English. I beseech you. Ruck. In the Rucks, Geelong, third easiest matchup. Come on. English has been as successful as everything else English this year. Mate, that's a call and a half. Adamo, as soon as the Blues named QnA, I tipped the Dogs. Just play Tom De Koning in the ruck and let us all have our first pick player Supercoach for next year.
The problem is that they have to justify him still being on the team. So if they're going to keep him, he needs to play. That's the issue. And I think there was a bit of an injury cloud around TDK. Maybe if Pommy's still in the chat, he can let us know. But yeah, my understanding was there was a bit of an injury cloud around him as well. So potentially, if something had happened halfway through the game, they still have a ruckman.
Yes.
So yeah, I had some nuffy on Twitter trying to tell me, Joe, that Mark Pitney is the number 2 ruckman in the AFL. So yeah, cool.
Wow.
I don't see how, but all right, mate.
Luke McDonald has to go. Shouldn't be picked every week. He was crap on Papley, same as Dawson.
Yeah, Dawson did not have a great week. Luke McDonald, probably a similar thing. I don't know if it was not sleeping because he just had a kid. Congratulations. But yeah, it's a bit of a tough one there. I think there's a few of these players similar to a few of North Melbourne's wingers. They're good enough for right now, but if they can't develop, then they're not going to be in the team for much longer. So you'd hope that North has a few young kids or maybe some draftees that come through and push them out.
Yep. Okay, Harry. Hey, lads, haven't been on lately. Low motivation, but how good is Lachie Neale? I'm glad to see that you have to motivate yourself to come and watch us, Harry. I was hoping that it would. I was hoping that it might inspire you. That despite the shitness of what happens around, you can still have some fun. But good to see you again, mate. Hope you're doing all right. Lachie Neale is a gun, and he could well and truly win a 3rd Brownlow medal, which would put him in really rare air.
Yeah, it's a tricky one, right? Because if I said to you, Lachie Neale would be the best player this year, you probably wouldn't picture it. But just the way that the matchups have worked out and players being suspended and stuff, mate, it just figures itself out, doesn't it?
Well, not just that, but he really has played very well. He has
no doubt he's a good player.
He has been Brisbane's best. There's no doubt about that. He is definitely leading the way, and he is the Batman to Dunkley's Robin. That has been the case. The team is his, and he has without a doubt carried them on his back and done some great things in turning the season around for the Lions. So has he been among the best? Absolutely, he's been among the best. He's been up there with Cripps. He's been up there with, I reckon he's been more consistent than Heaney this year. Heaney started like a house on fire, but I think Heaney's cooled down a bit, whereas Neale is ramping up. So, he absolutely deserves it to be the best player this year. I would agree.
Okay.
Michael would like to see Kobe Burgell replace Duggan.
Why not?
Why not? Kirch had a few bad turnovers. Does he do a step in the VFL?
No. I think we're still going to play him for a little bit longer. But if he probably does it again, there's potential. There's potential there. But I think his the whole team was really poor for the vast majority of the game. And I think the 37 possession game the week before kind of saves him for a little bit.
He's too good for the VFL. He's not going to develop playing back there. You just got to keep him. He had some bad turnovers, so be it. You played the Swans at the SCG, one of the hardest matchups against the team that's clear top of the ladder. Of course he's going to have some turnovers. That's fine. You don't drop him for that.
No.
Griffin Logue has to come back too.
I think from what people have been saying, Griffin Logue did not look around it at all. So really? I think it's going to be a fair wait for him at the moment.
Fair enough.
He's running around, which is great, but just not fit, not ready to go. So, yeah, I think he's going to take a while, which is fair. I mean, the guy's coming off an ACL. There's no pressure for him to come. We're not playing finals. So maybe he plays like round 23 or something.
Yeah, this is going to be a huge game. Hawks v Pies. That's a bit of a coin flip. On form, the Hawks are doing better. On form, and they're a great matchup for the Pies. I'm going to be tipping the Hawks in this game, to be honest.
Yeah.
With the way the Pies are playing.
It's an interesting one, right? Because we looked at, I know we were speaking at the game on Friday, Joel, just about how uninfluential Kruger was and how Cameron has almost reinvented himself as not being a ruckman, which really sucks because they're desperate for a ruckman. So Meat could just have a field day against them, and that just flows on to the rest of the team. I'm not sure how the Hawks forward line is going to go, but Collingwood's defensive line looked pretty shabby. Friday.
Oh, yeah. And the problem is, and it just, I don't know what they're going to do, but it's now been 2 weeks in a row against Essendon and now against Geelong, where just playing keepings off kills them. So you just a couple of switches, and all of a sudden, Geelong were out on the wing with so much space. It was bonkers. They're going to have to simplify it, and I reckon the Pies are going to play man-on-man defense this week. I reckon the Pies are going to go one-on-one. I don't think they're going to play a zone, just to try and get back some of that momentum and to stop this uncontested mark game that's killing them. So I don't know. That might suit the Hawks. I'm going to tip the Hawks this week against the Pies.
Nice. It's a bit different, isn't it?
Yeah. Carlton and Essendon both track this week. It's true. Caldwell probably one of the few that can hold his head high. He's such a workhorse. He's our best midfielder at ground level. So clean, and he tackles. He just gives it 100%. I'd love to have two of him. He's unreal. Merritt will bounce back. He will. He's not going to clock Neil Bullen every week. Neil Bullen's a very good tag, and I can see Scott giving the Pies a genuine rocket this week. And I'm anticipating a strong bounce back against the Crows. If we don't see a strong bounce back against the Crows, then shut shop for the year, I reckon. Adamo, in 5 years, every team will have a dedicated tagger, a running machine who can tackle but can't kick and isn't very talented. Basically, a Jordan De Goey Spud type.
Maybe, but I do think a tagger is one of those things that was in form, then definitely went out of form, and now is looking like it's back in form again. I mean, we'll go back to Will Phillips for a second there. Will Phillips is really good by hand and foot, and his footy IQ is huge. So to get rid of someone like him is pretty crazy. But as you say, these run with types. The ability to nullify, like a really good key defender nullifies a key forward. Basically, takes him out of it. Harris Andrews makes everyone his bitch. He's just like, bitch, please, I'm on you. Have 3 possessions and no goals.
Sam Taylor as well. Yeah.
Aiden Call the last couple of weeks too. It's been pretty funny.
Wiedering, when he's healthy, Wiedering definitely does that as well.
If you can nullify an opposition mid, like that's even more devastating because they run up and down, they do everything. Like the tagger will be back. People have shown how good a tagger is, and that's why teams keep coming up with weird players like Toby Bedford. If you had said Toby Bedford tagger, James Jordan at least did it a little bit at Melbourne. But if you had said a Toby Bedford tagger, if you had said like a Neil Bullen tagger at the start of the year, half a dozen other players who are in the system now, every team at the start of the season will have one.
100%. You just need to be able to have that card, that flick of a switch that has the option in a game where a player is taking the game away from you. Just call them down. Just call them down. Crazy to think the Hawks have won more games than Collingwood, but are lower on the ladder.
Yeah, I saw someone on Twitter talking about this. Was it Twitter or Facebook today talking about this? And unfortunately, you don't play for wins. You play for premiership points. And that's how they're so far ahead. So, yes, they've lost more games, but technically they've drawn 2, and that's where the 4 points obviously come from.
Well, they've won less, but they've also lost less.
Yeah. You play for premiership points. You don't play for wins in AFL.
Yeah. So when you're on equal points...
I think soccer has extra points, right? So soccer has one of those things where you can end up getting more points but less wins and be ahead. So
I don't mind Collingwood being above Hawthorn on this. It's just the percentage. It is what it is. Can see the Bombers missing the finals by half a game potentially. The comp is so tight. It is on a knife's edge. And the Dogs pulling out the win all of a sudden against Carlton has them right in it. The Suns are right in it. Obviously, Collingwood is still in it. The Hawks are in it. Like, it's so damn tight. It's literally one game separating all of us. So, if we miss, then we miss. If we make it, then we make it. There's no point speculating at this point. We will find out in a few weeks' time who the top 8 will be. Who are we thinking for captains? Butters. Well, funnily enough, my VC and C from last week, I'm going to keep it the exact same. Merritt against Adelaide on Friday night, and Butters plays against Richmond at Adelaide Oval. So Merritt into Butters for me.
I think Butters is a good pick for me as well. It's more just about who would I run as the VC. I don't know about Zach Merritt. Friday nights always give me the willies, but maybe if it's a free run, if we know Butters is just going to dominate, maybe I just go Zach Merritt into Butters and just I haven't been able to score a good captain in 4 weeks or 3 weeks.
Just copy me. I'll carry you to the. I'll take you to the promised land.
Sure thing.
SD Gay going huge against Joe's fraud English. Yeah, probably. Pitto had 50 hit-outs and 20 touches. Had to play him.
Exactly. That's the big thing as well, is that TDK does fantastic as like that third tall. And at the very least, he forces opposition defenders to not have to focus just on the 2. It makes another one go out. So he scores big. Or we saw with Curnow with a lot of scoring shots in the second half. Obviously didn't convert, but he had the scoring shots there. So more threats is better.
Yes. You have to watch Shorty's Supercoach round review from last night. He had a run with some Collingwood supporters. Classic. Really?
Wow.
I will check it after this. Shitsune was named because DeConning was beat up by Briggs week before and we wanted to protect him. Yeah, but who was he up against this week? He was up against English. English wasn't going to harm DeConning.
Maybe like the game out between him and Darcy, maybe.
Yeah, but Darcy's a bit of a string bean himself. I can't see Darcy causing damage to DeConning. DeConning would eat him for breakfast. Cheers, Causa. G'day, Globes. How's it going, mate?
What's up, Global?
Harry, scared for the James Jordan tag this week. He's going to be heavily targeted. Team effort from the Swans, I think. Well,
potentially.
They're a good team. Yeah. Make 103 average, camera 97. Interesting matchup. It is.
Yeah.
Would you endorse using my last trade to bring in Filippo as my F7, Lipping Charlie and Jezza?
Depends on what your team looks like. But yeah, really depends on what your team looks like for me. At this point in the season, to bring him in only as cover, I would probably say not. Looks like you've got two good players already. You would hate to bring him in and then have another injury to another player in your team. Like if you had pure coverage everywhere, if you had Jackson in the forward line and two good players and Livingston and being able to do whatever you want, there's a world where I could say maybe. But you would hate like a season-ending Bontempelli injury and then just not have coverage at all. Like that would suck. So, yeah. Kind of depends on your team at the moment.
Agreed. Tom Green has already applied for the position of being the useless tagger. I love it. Legend. Essendon better with Draper or Goldie? Because the problem with Draper is he doesn't even try to head to a teammate. His sole focus is smashing it forward, which is the complete opposite to Goldie, which is true.
Yeah.
I was sort of hoping that bringing Goldie to the team would help teach this moron of a ruckman how to tap and use some ruck craft. It hasn't happened as of yet, unfortunately. Yeah. I'm sure Goldie is struggling to get through to this big buffoon that is Sam Draper.
He's been watching his Nick Natanui highlights,
Yeah, I know. So, look, we love Drapes. He's the embodiment of chaos, which can be a point of difference in getting his own clearances and things like that. But unfortunately, what it does is it means that he's not predictable to his teammates. And he needs to trust his teammates more, and he needs to get on the same page with his teammates, who are all better ball users than he is. So I think Draper needs to have something happen where the penny drops and something clicks in his head, and he finally grows the F up. To quote Dimmer Hardwick. So look, Goldie's not part of our next premiership tilt, so I don't mind not playing him. I want us to play Nick Bryan. That's what I want us to do. Jason, Voss brought back the tagging this year with Chincotta, then everyone started copying.
Yeah, because it worked.
Really? Was Chincotta tagging before James Jordan was tagging?
Not sure. But
yeah. We have 10 flag players not playing, including Talls. The team has lost continuity because of this. Also, lack of form and skills are off. Oh, well, bad. You will bounce back side by side. Yeah, 100%. You've got a lot of injuries to really important players. No doubt, Maltesing. There are certain things that are completely out of your control. You guys are obviously still a good team with a good culture, etc., right? You still have got Craig McRae. But, the problem is that when you have an aging... your stars are aging. How Pendles, Sidebum, a lot of these players are getting on in years. Even Mason Cox himself is also not a spring chicken anymore. So, you just need to give these youngsters opportunity, a bit like what Geelong are doing. Geelong are playing a lot of the young players. I'm worried Graham tags Butters.
Yeah, it could happen. It could definitely happen. Yeah, it could definitely happen.
Marshall for VC. Freaking Marshmallow. Always with the Mickey Mouse matchup against West Coast at Marvel.
Yep.
Far out. I hate Rowan.
Jack Steele's going to go big too, just to hurt me, Joe.
Freaking hate Rowan. West Coast, second easiest matchup. Bloody hell. Yeah. I hate you, Rowan. Maltesing, it's a fair call, fair shout. If you don't have any Melbourne players as donuts this week, you have to go an early VC. Why do you have to go an early VC? Melbourne, dead. Brown, dead. Gawn, dead. This week. Plenty of Melbourne players not playing this week. So you can take your pick with any VC. Maybe it could be freaking Tim English. I don't know. G'day, Jono. Hope you're doing well, guys. If you haven't subbed to St. Binger's Super Coach, head on over and sub to St. Binger's Super Coach. I would love to have Bont VC and Butters C for coming week, but both play Saturday night.
Yep. Yeah, I've seen a few of those too.
Actually, the Bond is a fair shout. But yeah, Butters, Freddie Draper seems like it would be better forward with resting ruck play and Brian as primary ruck. Potentially. You just can't trust Draper's set shots, though, is the thing. Voss popularized the tags again. I don't know about that. There you go, Velo. Wrong. Voss copied Longmire with Jordan. There you go. There we go. That answered our question. Thank you, Velo. Thoughts on the VC for Caldwell? Yeah, look, that's part of the reason why I love the Caldwell trade-in and why I recommended it so often for so many people. Because if anyone's copping the tag, it's this guy. It's Zach. Caldwell is always just going to have his nose to the ground. Contested ball and tackling. Occasionally hitting the scoreboard. He will never get attention. So he is pretty safe. I think Merritt has the highest ceiling because Merritt's ball use when left unchecked just is score assist after score assist. But Caldwell probably has the safer floor due to lack of tagging. There you go. Vela likes the Caldwell VC. Also, how did Adelaide do against inside mids? Adelaide, third easiest matchup for inside mids. Get around him.
Yeah.
Mr. Muppet.
It'll be him or Merritt. One of those two.
Hey, fellas, if McKercher get injured, he said about 15 plus minutes in the final turn. I don't think he was injured. I think the game was over.
No. I think he just got stuck on the bench. I don't know if it was a rotations problem or we ran out of swaps or something like that. But yeah, he was about 15 minutes on the bench. I know Supercoach Masters had posted it up as well as being something that had happened. So yeah, he just got stuck. You know what it was? Yep. We didn't want another rotation gate. So we were going to go and put him on field, and someone said, no, we're finished, and that was it.
That is why playing the guys from the twos has been great. If no injuries, exactly. Yeah, there's always opportunity in the face of adversity. He went
missing so hard in that game, though. We watched Richards, and the first quarter he was everywhere. Second quarter a little bit. After halftime, I don't know if a tag went on or what, but he just disappeared.
He was still fine. The problem was the Cats started to win the game. The Cats started to get the game on their terms, controlling the uncontested mark, playing keepings off. And unfortunately, when that's happening, you can't bring that manic pressure. And that's what Joe Richards brings. Joe Richards, he's got great pressure and great ball use. But if you look at I'm pretty sure the disposal count was a massive disparity in that game. Let's have a look. Back to 18. Geelong won by 20, but it was almost like a comfortable 20-point win. Yeah, they almost had 60 more disposals. You know what I mean? On the weekend. So, and if you look at the marks, where were the marks? Uncontested. There you go. Look at that. Plus 60 in uncontested marks and uncontested possessions. And the marks was 145 to 75. You know what I mean? Like, it was ridiculous. the game style, the game plan, they saw us do it the week before, and then Geelong just took it to another level. Hayden Young for VC. Oh, Hayden Young.
Potentially. He did do quite well on the weekend, and I think Freo are going to move a few things around. We'll see what kind of happens with the team.
Fremantle. Your VC in the second last game. Who's your captain going to be, Anne Louise?
Well, there you go. QnA.
QnA.
You can't even do it. Just like if Hayden Young has a first good 2 quarters, then you throw yeah.
Biggie Nguyen as the captain.
There you go.
How you both going?
Because he might be a lead in.
Doing well, Jono. Doing well, brother. Michael Marshall, 84, 103, 88 last 3 versus West Coast. May that continue. May he throw in another shit one.
Yep.
Fisher can be used as a loophole if not playing. Correct. Yes, Big J. Good job, guys. Yes. Slay Queen. I think Finn McGuinness was the original. And with what he did on Dacos, I think they were all trained up during the preseason.
Yeah. It's funny. Dacos, that could be the redemption arc, Joe. We thought he was going to get hit on him in the preseason. Now it's it's all come fruition. That's it. And they didn't tag him during the preseason. So they didn't tag him, in round 1 to give him that false hope. Nah, Hawks don't tag. No worries. Bam, Finn McGuinness is coming for you. That's it.
Matty Knight said this after that Archer Reed may be a chance to debut this week.
Nice.
Don't trust Matty Knight.
It's not the Geelong Reed. Not Geelong Reed. It's not Zach Reed. So I did see him running around. So potentially Zach Reed comes back at some point. But
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Humphreys had 13 marks of his own. Exactly.
Humphreys was so good in that game. They're using Humphreys so well. And it's something to watch out for next year, depending on how cheap Humphreys is going to be. Because Humphreys playing this well in the back line has really opened up Tom Stewart. And we spoke about this at the game, Joe. Humphreys in the back line, he's basically playing Tom Stewart's role in that back line.
Yeah.
Maybe not as many intercepts just because of the nature of him being a young player, but he is effectively playing Tom Stewart role. And it's really freed up Tom Stewart.
Or maybe like a Mitch Duncan sort of distributor.
Maybe. But it's 100% freed up Tom Stewart to go and play midfield. Like, it really has freed him up 100%. Tom Stewart's taken CBAs because Humphreys is in the team. Like, that's how good the kid is.
Yep. No pressure. And, you need to create pressure and prevent those uncontested marks to then be able to put on more pressure. If that first effort isn't there to prevent the uncontested mark, then you end up just falling behind the play. And that's why I think Collingwood against the Hawks are going to play man on man, because they probably know that it's going to happen again. They're going to try again, and they're going to try and take away those uncontested marks, I think.
Yeah. If it's at the MCG like it is, Hawthorn just watched Geelong and saw how to do it. Collingwood suck on the wings. And unless there's major changes to the team, they just suck. Like, Geelong beat them because they kept switch kicking the ball and getting them tired. And then there just wasn't energy to be able to do anything. I don't know if Massimo's injured or what's happened with him, but Hawthorn will just run the ball up and down the wings all game long. Switch kick in the back line, run the ball up and down on the wings, and they'll just win. Like, Collingwood need to change something.
Yeah.
Because that's how I'd win.
Mackay scored a 137 last time against North.
I bet. Because his brother didn't play. That's why.
Exactly.
Brother.
Who's your lock from each line for next year? Good question.
Oh, mate. I'm not quite sure, to be honest. It really depends on DPP. But I was thinking like a Sheasel in the forward line, potentially, depending on DPP. It really just depends. There's quite a few of these players who look really good. I think if I'm going to pick players, it's probably your Luke Ryan again in the back line. Like just these guys that are constantly always top 5 and are always really expensive. And cool, it's round 18 and now he's cheap. Just these type of players that are just going to pump out good scores. You could probably say Bontempelli again in the midfield as someone who is just going to be consistent scorer, always top 6 in Supercoach every single year. Chuck him in your team. I don't know if I've got one for the ruck line. It really depends on matchups for that year and price. Forward line as well. It really just depends on kind of who's available. Joe kind of scoffed at my Sheasel comment, but if he's stuck playing half forward, there's potential that he ends up with DPP, which would be amazing. It just kind of depends on the players in those two other positions. I'm sure they'll always be there. Some people here are saying Jai Caldwell in the chat, and potentially as well, depending on if he's DPP or not. I think next year is going to be us going back to what it was 2 years ago, where we stack the back line, stack the forward line, and just run mids that are rookies. Because there's going to be a lot of mids who are very, very cheap and a lot of good DPP players in the other two positions that are going to be scoring. If you look at our teams, like at the moment, I can really see all these guys. So my forward line at the moment is Flanders, Heaney, Caldwell, Zorko, Dylan Moore, and Simpkin. Probably not Simpkin, but all of those guys outside of Flanders are going to be in this position at the end of the year. Like next year, they should all be there. Maybe not Heaney as much, but everyone else should be like forward eligible next year.
Caldwell won't have forward eligibility.
We'll see, but it depends on how we went at the start of the year. If he was playing forward, there's a chance, right? So I think we're going to have a situation where you might end up just stacking the other two and saying, cool, I'll use my money on expensive mids. Maybe we run 4 primo mids, full back line, and like four forwards, and just finish off our teams pretty quick. So, yeah, it kind of just depends. Take it as the team comes and things like that. But, yeah, we'll see.
I don't have any players. I don't have any players that I'm locking in from right now. I'm just going to play the value game next year. Whatever prices are going to be fine. I don't want any mid prices. I'm just going to go 4 guns and rookies.
Yeah. Start as many players.
Yeah, exactly. Tom Green might say this week taking a chance. It's a very early captain, Anne Louise. You either have. I'm noticing Anne Louise a trend. Your captains are either in the second game of the round and your vice captain in the second last game of the round. And Louise, I think
opposite.
Other way. Globes. We really get found out when the rain comes down. We really don't have the quick handball transitional game plan. So hard to watch. Globes, when the rain is coming down, you don't freaking handball to each other like hot potato. That's not what you do. You get the ball out into space. You get the ball moving forward. You will the ball forward. None of this lateral BS in the rain. We have low IQ players, Globes. Very low IQ players. And that's why we suck in the wet, because we don't play wet weather football. Will it forward. You don't need possessions to get the ball forward. Tap it, surge it, kick it off the ground, get it forward at all costs. Play in front of your direct opponent so that when the ball arrives, you'll get first hands to it. It's a heavy ball. It's wet. It's going to fall short if kicked up in the air. If it's dribbled around along the ground, if you're in front, you will pick it up. Some stupidly simple things that could have been implemented that weren't. And that is the most infuriating thing. These guys should learn these skills in Auskick, and they forget about it at AFL level. It's bonkers to me.
There you go.
Causer. Best 2 trades of the last few weeks is Jai Clark for Humphreys and Hutchinson to Logan Evans.
Yep. And Big J has both of them in his team.
Well done.
But I still have Hutchinson, so that's okay. But I went big in you into Hutchinson. So
yes.
it was all right.
Yes. Humphreys looks like a great player. Yeah, 100%. What a steal.
Geelong are just stealing these good players from the VFL teams. Like, not VFL. He was a waffle player, ended up Geelong VFL, and then, has come back in. Yep, you know what? Sure. I'll say this. I'll say this right now, right? What makes a good team is being able to pick up quality players for cheap. That's what makes a good team, and that's why Geelong is where it is. Tom Stewart, cheap. Brian Myers, cheap. All these other players. Jack Bowes, they got a pick to get Jack Bowes into the team. They're good players. That's how good teams work. That's how you stay consistent. That's how you stay good. Humphreys is another one. And I guarantee you there'll be more. They'll be hating themselves for not picking up someone like Closey because he was Geelong VFL. But, there's so many of them. So Manor pick 30. Who cares? Like, good players coming cheap.
Yep. Hey, Jamar, the stats man.
Thanks, mate.
Good to see you, mate. Welcome aboard. Will Charlie Cameron get off? If he doesn't, does that give a debutant a game?
Potentially. I don't know who they've got coming through the wings at Brisbane, but just pick shout whichever small forward is ready to go in the team. Thank you very much for subscribing and having a watch, mate. It's an interesting one. We had a look at kind of the MRO and why he got suspended, and it was a driving of the head into the ground with pinned arms.
Yeah,
I think the player also went off as well. So Brisbane are going to appeal, but all it will take is some. Oh, sorry, that doesn't work. All it will take is some good character. Like that. That's what it will have to be for him to get off. Really, everything else is just not really there.
I want to see who the emergencies were coming into the game, because then we'd be able to sort of know who's knocking on the door when it comes to selection. But
if you can have a look at the article that came out on Friday, potentially.
But he's not getting off.
No, there's no chance. Was that Humphreys got Rising Star this week? Can you scroll up?
Oh, was it?
I think so. There you go.
Yes, he did.
That's pretty good. If he played the whole year, I reckon he would win the Rising Star if he had played the whole year.
Yeah.
I know it's a big call, but...
Bonus $750K, I couldn't do it. Yeah, I'm not paying. I'm not paying $700K plus for anyone anymore. I'm just not doing that.
Look, the way you win Supercoach at the start of the season is to have more primos than everyone else. So if you can find a lot of value at $500K that are going to score you hundreds every week, it's worth it over the $750K guys. I bet you we should go back. Velo, pencil that in, and we'll have a look pre-season, and you can bring it back up to us. All right, Joe with his Marshall and English, because they're both cheap. Like, yep, that's it in my team.
Can't look at those freaking names. I swear those names do give me PTSD. Morons at the AFL have scheduled another round of 2 times 140. They're morons. You've said it. They're freaking morons.
Yeah, and that's why we need Thursday games, really, because it frees it up. I remember, I'm going to say my old age, right? I remember like 6 years ago when the AFL was on every day of the weekend, and you could have a 1:20, a 3:20, a 4 o'clock, and like a 7 o'clock game. So you could watch like all of the games and not have them overscheduled. Now you can't do that. I understand that there's some issues with local TV, and let's pretend like a Giants game in New South Wales is on televised there, and that's why they don't get to see the St Kilda game. And I can see a world where both of them are scheduled at the same time. But so if you go to that, so let's have a look, right? And
neither of them are free to air. Neither of them.
There you go. Like my theory doesn't even make sense. Like the AFL's just off his nutter.
7:30 evening game. One's a free to air.
Yeah.
3:20, 1:10, 4:40. But this 1:45 game, neither of them is on free to air.
Yeah. It needs to change. The days were better, but KO's making the AFL too much money. That's the issue.
Michael, how many players in your current team have you had all year? Still got 9. I started 1. 2.
Shots, Cheezel?
No.
Okay.
2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
5. Freaking 6. This piece of show. I don't know, 6. 7, 8. 8.
Yeah. And I think that's where all our trades have gone throughout the season. Has been, we probably started 12 or 13 primos, and now you've only got 8. Like, picking the right players in your team makes a huge difference. Obviously, injuries and stuff. But yeah. You started Max. You didn't start Max Gorn, did you?
No, I freaking started.
Oh no,
Grundy.
No. Yeah, it's not great.
And Dawson and freaking Fisher and Nick Martin and bloody. It's just been Just let's not look at this stupid team again. Max Holmes in the back line next year. Very cool. Very cool. Straight C on Rivers for the rest of the year. Why not? Have fun. I am thinking Ryan, Butters, DeConning, and Rankin as locks. That's if Rankin has forward status, I hope.
Yeah. He'll be 50-50. But that's the thing with the Rankin. Like, you could potentially start. Next year might be the year where you just lock in a forward line of guys that are 500K. Like, between 5 and 600K, lock it in. Because forward rookies are shit. Like, I hate to say it, forward rookies are not great. You can probably get away with 2 on the bench.
Lucky no rain in September. That's true, Maltesing. Until we played. But then there was that, well, what year was it? 2019, 2020? I don't remember which year it was. When we made the elimination final and played against the Dogs, it was dry up until halftime. We were looking the goods, and then the rain came and washed us away. It's ridiculous. Essendon need to train in the rain. Agreed. And if there's no rain, turn on the freaking sprinklers. I don't care. I'll go. I'll go there.
Keep going.
I was going to say, I will gladly travel over an hour to go to their training session in the morning and be there standing and hosing everything down. I'm willing to do that if it means they improve in the wet.
I'm totally one day going to get Nick from work on the show just so he can give us some footy stories from back in the day. He told me that back in the day, what the Essendon coach used to do would be actually at the ground to train, practice rain weather. Some of the coaches used to put the sprinklers on and had the players play in the sprinklers to simulate what would it be like in the wet and get the ball wet, themselves wet. It's not obviously not the same as the rain, but like to kind of get those conditions. And I said to him today, I'm like, hey, players go out and train during the week when it's raining. Like, there's a little bit of an excuse to say, hey, it's wet and raining, but not really. Like, these are conditions that you guys should be playing in every week. Like, you kind of know what the game's like, to completely just die off because it's wet. It's not great. There you go.
Nah, but this is, I hear you, Velo. Ever since we stopped training at Windy Hill, we've become useless in the wet. It's so true. It's so true. It's a joke that a winter sport and we struggle when it rains. We suck. I'm averaging 135.5 as a captain score and still are yet to captain someone under 100.
Mate, maybe you should come on the show, Legend, on a when we record our captaincy videos. Maybe you should do that and just tell us, go guys, these are the best captains this week done. Because, mate, I think I'm averaging like 78 of them. It's not great.
Pick 71 for Adagalia. That was Humphreys.
Yep. And that's what Geelong does. And that's why they're very, very good at winning. And that's why they stay consistent and they're top of the table every year. Because they just pull these guys out of here. Every other club is coming in and they're saying, cool, we'll trade you for this. We'll trade you for this. No. Geelong say, hey, we'll go pinch them out of VFL. I can guarantee, you watch, I can guarantee you there'll be some superstars this year from the Waffle who will come in and at some point make an immediate impact. And I can guarantee you that there'll be stars out of this year's Werribee VFL team, because they're completely dominating the VFL, that will do very, very well. So, yeah. No, I don't like that.
I'd even move one of these slots to be a 320 slot, Jonas, or a 210, and that would
like
be fine.
I can understand if it's a 8:30 in Perth, so it ends up being like a 5:30 here or something like that, But
yeah. Velo, it was at that moment that my season was ruined. The season was over. The season was over before it began. Honestly, it was there. Okay, I wasn't imagining things. It was actually there. The problem is we read too much into it. Yeah. Could say the same for Sydney. Don't forget, Geelong and Sydney also had a down year whilst transitioning. Cats written off, and no one thought Swans had a chance. One bad year doesn't mean the world will end. 100%.
Yeah, and Pies as well, right? Like, they went from the year where they traded around their first pick and ended up with like pick 3, which was hilarious. Still got Dacos and then jumped up the ladder again. So, yeah, it happens.
Nothing of merit happened in 1990 Maltesing. 2021, that's the one, yeah, versus the Dogs, and freaking Cody Waitman kicks 4 goals from freaking 4 free kicks. And that's why I'll forever hate him. Big fan of content. Filippo will be about 250, 300k. Yeah, fair enough. It's a winter sport. I know, Michael. It's a freaking winter sport. Yeah. Maltese Australia, however, some suburban grounds were just mud anyway. I remember the stink of mud after the games. Des Tottenham did that when he was the coach at Essendon. Yeah. Western Oval, Moorabbin, Windy Hill, and Vic Park, to name 4. Yep. And then the violin can play just for me. Thank you. Play it for me. The symphony, the orchestra, world's smallest violin as well, if you don't mind. Console me, or tease me, up to you. But that will do us for tonight. Thank you guys so much for watching, for joining. Everybody new, thank you for joining us. Everybody who's a regular, it's great to see you again. Make sure you hit the like if you haven't, subscribe if you're new, all that classic content creator good stuff, just for the algorithm, get us spread out, increase the size of our growing wonderful community that you guys are. Much love to all of you, and we look forward to seeing you on Thursday.
Guys, Supercoach is a lot of fun. Make sure you land in these captaincy scores, because like me, it could be the difference between you scoring at 2250 and you scoring at 2400 plus. So yeah, that's the way the game works, unfortunately. What can you do?
Exactly. It is what it be. But yes, listen out to me on Thursday for my captaincy and my VC tips. I think it's been mostly pretty good. Not the best, but it hasn't been too bad, and that's probably been the one thing that has been my saving grace this year. So much love to everybody. Hope you all have a wonderful week. We look forward to seeing you Thursday, 5:30 p.m. for the drive home, because
guys, here at the Centre Bounce, we do the hard work, so you guys don't have to. Bye for now.
Bye for now.